Hi guys. So from the title and the thumbnail of this video, you guys can probably tell what we're gonna be talking about today. That's right, we're gonna be talking about the anime Erased. Now I'm gonna be really surprised if there's someone out there that doesn't know this anime because it's pretty fucking popular. But I'll quickly explain like the synopsis of it and like what it's about to the people that doesn't know what it is. So Erased with Bokumachi was an anime that was initially released in January of 2016 and it was quickly popularized due to its rather unique concept on time traveling. And the main character Satoru Fujinuma, he was able to time travel during random instances. Like for example, in the first episode of the series, he saved a kid from getting hit by a truck. I can't really confirm this because I didn't watch anime when Erased first came out, but I've heard a lot of people say that Erased was one of the first animes, or maybe even the first one that actually did like the time traveling, the time skipping things. Okay, let's pause for a second. So I just did a bit more of research and I kind of realized that this statement was terribly wrong. I definitely have heard a big YouTuber say in the video before, don't remember who it was, but after doing a bit more of research, by research I mean like just simply searching up on Google, I kind of realized that there's a lot of other anime that had time skipping involved way before Erased. Some of those animes are Madoka Magica and Steins Gate, which both came out a while before Erased. So yeah, sorry, this statement was completely wrong, don't take it seriously. Yeah, back to the video. Unfortunately, Erased is also known for being an infamous anime, mostly due to the second half of the anime. Yeah, I ended up rewatching Erased a few days ago and I was like asking myself like, okay, what exactly went wrong? Like how did all of this happen? How was the original story like? Because I assumed there was a light novel or a manga, which there is, before like the anime was actually adapted. So I ended up reading majority of the manga and I can definitely say that most of my questions are solved now. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys what exactly went wrong with Erased. I'm going to be comparing some of the aspects of the anime and the manga, tell you guys the differences of it and how all of this shit happened basically. Yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. So before we actually talk about the manga itself, let's talk about what actually happened in the final few episodes of Erased. So basically, after Satoru saved all of the girls, he was hospitalized for close to 15 years I think because his teacher, who was also the culprit, Yashiro, decided to fuck him up, I guess. And he lost all of his memories when he woke up, which is definitely understandable. Like this guy, he was asleep for 15 years. Like I don't think he's gonna remember anything that happened before those 15 years. But yeah, the last few episodes were pretty messy. Like we gotta see Satoru recover, meet his old friends again, make some new friends. Yeah, he ended up remembering everything. He ended up having a 1v1 with Yashiro and basically forced him to commit a crime, which also revealed the past crimes that he's done. Then the anime ended with Satoru meeting Airi while I was like snowing outside, like because this was his third run I think. This was it's basically on an alternate universe where he didn't meet this girl yet, but he knows her and she doesn't know him, and from the ending we can kind of assume that Airi's like his main love interest at this point. So the main problem that people have of the ending of Erased is that the ending itself, like the final 4 or 5 episodes just felt extremely rushed. Like all of the process of Satoru getting hospitalized, then like revealing who the culprit actually was and him recovering everything, then like how the story ended. Some people also feel mad because Satoru kind of got cooked because Kayu got with another guy that wasn't him, but I personally think that makes a lot of sense, like especially after reading the manga. And another character got introduced who was Kumi. The thing with her in the anime is that she kind of felt like a significant character, but they really didn't give her enough time to like actually make her a major part of the story. But she was actually a major character in the manga. Like she was heavily involved in the story after Satoru's recovery and everything. But the story just decided to like not include any of that in the anime. And that's the main problem of the anime itself. So much more happened after Satoru woke up in the manga. I'm not gonna talk about everything because like I said, a lot happened, but I'll just quickly go over some of the major things about the manga. So in the manga, we basically got a whole arc of Satoru's recovery. Like they really went in with all of the details of every little thing that happened, with like every single conversation he had with everyone around them, which is something that they obviously can't really do in the anime since it's only 12 episodes. And yeah, we also got a backstory for Yashiro. Yashiro was actually forced to adopt like little girls when he was younger for his older brother. After doing it for a while, after he just got more and more twisted, he eventually ended up enjoying it and basically made his brother commit suicide and started abducting girls when he got older again. But yeah, after Yashiro found out that Satoru, recovered and everything, and he basically assumed that he had his memories come back as well, he tried to frame Satoru by doing things to Kumi. I mean, he really didn't do anything to her. He basically just like tried to lure him out, which he actually did. Yeah, during this part of the story, everyone was at like a fireworks event or something. They were all in like this little tiny town and like kind of camping and shit. You're just doing a bunch of things. And yeah, it turned out that Yashiro was actually the one who was funding this whole event. So he kind of, assumed that Satoru was going to and everything. And yeah, the climax happened. Satoru met Yashiro at the bridge and everything. They kind of had like a stand down. They talked back and forth with each other. and then Satoru basically defeated him. I personally thought this was really cool because this was the first time that Satoru actually knew who the culprit was and went against him. Because in the first half of the story, like, Satoru didn't really care about who the culprit was. He was just focusing on helping these girls out. He didn't really care about who the culprit was at the time, but now he does. And you know, they actually had like a 1v1 basically. And that was an extremely short summarized version of what happened in the final part of the manga. I promise you, I didn't do it any justice. If you actually even have any interest in this series, please go check it out because it was actually quite enjoyable. It was like really different compared to the anime because the anime itself was more so, you know, like pushed by the thriller aspect of it. And that's also why the story gradually got worse and worse after we found out who the culprit was. Like, the first half of the series was so mysterious. It was like so interesting. Like, we had no clue what was gonna happen next. We were just watching Satoru help out these girls and everything. But I guess they just decided to be like, haha, Satoru's gone now and we know who the culprit is now. Yeah, and the final scene where he met Ali in the manga was kind of similar to the scene that happened within the anime as well. In the anime, they kind of portrayed it as like Satoru, you know, had like a missing piece in his life. Even after figuring everything out, even after solving this fucking crime, he was still kind of confused about everything that was going on. Then he met Ali again, you know. And the way I see it is that this version of Satoru heavily needed Aili back. While in the manga, it was more like Satoru, you know, completed everything in life. He's like, you know, an amazing man who's so happy in life now with a happy family, with some happy co-workers as well. Then he ended up meeting someone that made his life even better. And yeah, the manga itself also had like some side chapters dedicated to some certain characters that, you know, explain their backstories, explain what happened when Satoru was gone, and how they got over losing him and everything. So again, if you guys are interested in the series, I highly recommend reading the manga. So what exactly went wrong with the anime though? I personally think the problem was that the manga was way too manga-like, to the point where they couldn't really adapt everything that happened in the second half. When it comes to animes that were released in the 2010s, they'll most likely range from 11 to 13 episodes or 22 to 26 episodes. But when it comes to mangas, they can make the story as long as they fucking want. Basically, the anime was forced to either shorten the story or drag it out to 20 plus episodes to, you know, actually show everything that happened within the manga. If they stretched it out at like 20 plus episodes, the story definitely would have been better structured, but at the same time, people already lost interest after they revealed who the culprit was. So even if they did stretch it out to 20 plus episodes, I don't think the story would be as successful as it is right now. Basically, the manga works in manga style, but when you translate it to an anime, it's not gonna work as well. Because like I said before, you know, mangas can be as long as they want. You can read it at any speed you want. But when it comes to anime, there's a dedicated length for every single episode, and there's a dedicated amount of episodes in a single season. So Erase couldn't really, you know, adapt everything into the story, so they just decided to cut all the things out, which definitely fucked up the story. But at the same time, they couldn't really do anything else to actually, like, you know, adapt everything into the anime. So they were basically in like a really weird spot, and they just ended up going with a decision that, you know, honestly, looking back at it, looking like after reading the manga compared to the anime and everything, it wasn't a bad decision. It was just so disappointing to us. Like, the anime version of Yashiro might be one of the worst villains I've ever seen, but like, you know, in the manga, he actually got a backstory and everything. We understand why he does things like this way now, and I'm not saying like, you know, the things he does are good, but we definitely understand him more, and we just understand him more as a character now, so, you know, it's more interesting. But in the anime, it was kind of like, haha, teacher likes little kids, haha, adopt them, I guess. But outside of everything that happened with Satoru and Yashiro, I personally liked the ending of the anime a lot, where Satoru, you know, went on to live another life and finally ended up meeting Aili again, who's most likely his love interest at this point. I personally didn't mind that ending because I like Aili as a character a lot. She was my waifu from this anime, and you know, let's be honest, like, if they make Kaio wait 15 years for him, that just seems like way too far-fetched. So I personally think the ending itself, like the final ending, was pretty realistic, and it was a pretty good ending to the anime. Everything that happened before that though, yikes. But yeah, that's my version of explaining what exactly went wrong with the race. Sorry if this video felt a bit rushed, because it definitely was. I didn't really prepare much for this video. I basically just turned on the camera and started talking. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe. If there's anything wrong with the video, please tell me, like, you know, so I can make sure that I do these videos properly next time. But yeah, that's all you're getting from me today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you will have a nice night, and hopefully we'll see each other again. Peace out.